G'day guys, welcome back to another Fair Income episode. Long awaited, not highly requested, but we're back, whether you like it or not, In today's episode, it's got me and Ali on the couch, recapping our recent marathon runs. But the catch is, I didn't do the marathon, I ran. Nonetheless, we talk about the journey of thinking big, the art of thinking big, completing a marathon, traveling, Bali, BJJ, martial arts, Donald Trump and elections, the whole lot, Just me and Ali on the couch. Gonna enjoy this episode. You guys know the drill. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Enjoy the episode. Like I wake up and you're like into the group chat. You add him into the group chat. He sends a message in the group chat. He goes, boys, where's everyone at? Like we'll meet somewhere along these lines. You know what I mean? And then I'm thinking, like I just woke up right now, And everyone's already at the stadium. Like, how am I going to get there? I didn't take into account the fact that there's going to be like 11,000, 30,000 people all going to the same direction. Traffic was terrible. I hopped in an Uber and everything along those lines. And I'm running with a bum bag. You know what I mean? I have no straight bum because it's got my wallet and stuff. Not for any other reason. Yeah. So I got my bum bag and I'm running with TNs.
TNs?
Okay? I ran with TNs on the day.
Bro, I thought it was oh my God.
Guess what's happening? What have you been up to, bro? You've completed a big feat recently.
Yeah, it's been, I think, just over a week or so now. Mm-hmm. I was actually doing a lot of reflecting on it yesterday, just thinking about, because obviously you wanted to do this app. Because I don't think I really registered what I did and only until a few days later. Mm-hmm. I think because things can happen so quick, in terms of an event, talking to people and just other things happening in your life. But I remember I was talking to Ahmed about it as well.
Wait, you got to tell us what it was though.
Yeah, so I, alhamdulillah, completed my yearly fitness goal, which was running a full 42-kilometer marathon.
Yeah.
And I remember, I'm not sure if I said in that video, the episode, but I knew it was on the cards anyway. Oh. But really thinking about it now, we'll get into more details. Well, just alhamdulillah, man.
You showed signs of it because. Remember when we got the Lewis Phillip episode? Phillips or Lewis Phillips?
Yeah, Lewis, yeah.
Whatever his name is, you know what I mean? Followed us on Instagram. I hope he's running good in everything. That brother. I won't say nothing. But anyway, you're the one that got Lewis Phillips. Yeah. You're the one that started the little whoop train and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, you're on it now? What?
I've been on it. Not now.
For how long?
I've been on it. It looks like I'm wearing a Ben 10 watch and everything.
It does, yeah?
This is just the charger for it. It's dead. 10 out of 10. I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's a big investment, yeah.
But I'm running on the free trial though, because they do a 1 month free trial, and then after, if you want to extend it, you keep on going and all that kind of stuff. So every month when it comes to an end, I just chuck it to a new mate. I tell him, hey, I just, sign up 2 seconds.
Yeah, you could get a free month. Yeah.
It gives you another 3 months. You know what I mean? I'm not short of I want to call them friends.
Just anything that benefits you, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But going back to it, I was like, yeah, you started to show signs of it. Lewis Phillips. Yeah. You had fitness goals, obviously. You didn't explicitly say marathon.
No, I didn't, yeah.
So at what point did you go, stuff it,
I remember last year I finished off doing the 75 hard challenge. That's when I bought my first pair of running shoes. I didn't know what I bought, what type of brand it was. I spoke to athletes. Hockers, yeah. I spoke to the guy Athlete's Foot. He's like, yeah, these are good. I'm like, okay. They're not cheap, man. That's firstly one thing. I was have you ever bought a pair of runners or not?
Nah. I want to talk about runners and stuff later on, but no, I need to invest in something.
Expensive, bro. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, so that was the first time I bought a pair, and I was doubting myself, is this worth it? Am I going to just run for a week and stop? I was fairly consistent with the running in 75 hard because it's never been something I've ever done. Yeah. I was even talking to him in the gym before. He said, because he knew me early on, 18, 19 years old, playing soccer. I was never a runner. This was never something in me where I didn't even look like I was a fitness type person to do extra types of trainings. And then after that, I got into the running because you have to do 45 minutes outside. Yeah. So I was doing roughly around there, about half an hour, 40 minutes, and then the rest of walking and whatnot. But even that just kind of grew my belief, I could actually do a bit more running. I actually like this thing. Let's give it a go and see what I can do. And then I spoke to my friend Bilal.
With a goal in mind or no goal in mind at this point?
Are you saying towards the end of the challenge? 75?
Yeah. Was it just because you just started enjoying running, yeah?
Yeah, just started enjoying running, and I thought, how could I be a bit more consistent with? I guess when you have a goal, you have to train towards it anyway,
Correct. Yeah.
and you have to sort out like the schedules, and you have to stay consistent because you have the goal in front of you anyway.
And you know the funny thing is, with like these challenges and stuff, and I've voiced this opinion to you boys about it. You know, like with the 75 hard challenge or any like of those like time related challenges that people do, it's like it's not really worth it if it doesn't become like a lifestyle. You know, if you don't take it with you like post after the challenge. You know, if you do the 75 hard challenge and you run twice a day, you drink, I don't know, is it a gallon of water or something along those lines? You read 2 books, you wake up, whatever, but and then when it hits the 76th day and then you don't do nothing that you've done in those 75 days, then cuz you just, I wouldn't say you wasted it, you know, but like it wasn't,
Why'd you do it?
Yeah, why did you do it?
What was the main reason?
Was it a fad? Is it a trend? You're just doing it for the sake of people doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's good that you transitioned out of that.
Yeah,
Took
definitely.
one thing with you.
Definitely. And then I remember speaking to one of my good friends, Bilal, because he's been into running for a while, just like, not for any events or anything, but just running in general, like part of his training routine. And then I had the goal of doing a half marathon.
Yeah.
Because I remember looking at the idea of running in general. You see people doing it casually. You see people doing events of half marathon, full marathon, or even ultras and stuff. But then I thought, full marathon's not even close to where I want to be right now.
Yeah.
Because, if you're not into running and you look at full marathon 42, you just think that's impossible. You just straight away think that's not for me.
Yeah.
So I thought, let me just start with the longest run I've done, which is 10Ks.
Yeah.
Let me do that. And let me set a time frame of doing half a marathon, which was just before Ramadan, I think.
Yeah, yeah. You set a time for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, time as in like,
Yeah.
not extra running time.
No, period of time in the year. And then I thought, okay, let's train towards it. And the half marathon, I probably had like 2 months or so to do the half marathon.
Yep. Sorry, excuse me. Very bad podcast etiquettes.
And yeah, so then when I had the goal of the half marathon, Bilal's goal was a half marathon as well. So that helped a lot with having him and another Bilal, a few other boys on the side, like helping me, training with me towards it. Because every week I started with the 10Ks. Yeah, so let me explain. Actually, with the running schedule, what most people do is they do one long run in their week, which is like pushing the limits of the distance, minutes on feet. That's the main thing. It's not really about the speed. It's more of focusing on like, it's called zone 2 running, which is basically conversational speed, yeah? And that's hard to build up at the start, no matter how fit you are. But that's the whole idea, is to extend and increase your distance. And during the week, you do other runs, like general runs, whatnot. You can even do intervals, like, sprints and all. But then you do one long run a week, and you don't do 2, you don't do 3, only 1.
And you're running at zone 2?
Zone 2. The main thing is to increase your distance. Correct, so what we did was, the first one was 10Ks, because I've done it before. And in my mind, self-belief, it's like, okay, I've done it before. Let me do it this weekend with the boys, 10Ks. And then every weekend what we did was like 12, 14, 16.
Yeah, correct.
And that was the first time, which was crazy. Every single weekend, I'm breaking that mental belief of like, oh my God, I've done 12. Oh my God, I've done 14. What can't I do? And it was pretty crazy. Like doing that every single week, breaking that like personal record. And I just thought like, my God, I'm doing it every week. Like, I can do this. I can do a half marathon for sure. I can do a full marathon eventually, because if I'm breaking every week, it's so quick. And it helped a lot being around like other boys, because you can't do it by yourself. Like that's going to be so hard. But what I realized with the running, getting up to the half marathon goal and from the Palestine run, that it's just about consistency, the running.
Correct.
Showing up and putting in the work of, going there every single week. Because zone 2, really, it's not that hard. Because if you're having to have a conversation while you're running, that's not fast. You really think about it.
It is hard if you're not fit in a regular runner.
Yeah.
Because like I just got exposed to this whole zone 2 running and like the understanding behind it and stuff. It's like, even though you're fit, or whatever, like in fitness in terms of like you might be doing like martial arts, or you might be doing an actual team sport, basketball, soccer, or whatnot, your type of like the type of effect on your body is like different to that of running. You know, like with the running, you want to have that sort of minimal heart rate or that resting heart rate, or not resting heart rate,
like steady in a way.
steady, like a talking pace type of thing, yeah. And to do that for a long distance is not really easy, you know. And you can test it with people. Like if one of us got up right now and started running, even the gym's pretty fit himself.
Yeah.
If he got up, started running, I don't think it'd last probably respectfully, you know.
Yeah, because they even said, I remember when I started off with the boys, they even said with running, for people that come from like competition sports, whatnot, even for the start of your running journey, to stop and walk for a bit, then go again, is good for your heart rate.
Correct.
It's actually better for you to do it because naturally when you play competition and you're moving your body, your heart rate will go up a lot quicker than a runner.
Exactly, yeah.
Where runners' heart rate's more controlled, more steady
and
after a long period.
And that's how they can run for a long period of time.
Exactly, at a certain pace. They're not pushing their threshold. They're not running at 80%, 90% like competition sports.
Exactly.
So I remember at the start I was struggling a lot because I was playing futsal weekly or whatnot, and all the other trainings I did, it was more related to that. So that does take a while to adapt. But once you get to that stage of like figuring out your zone 2, whatever pace or speed that is, like it's pretty cool feeling.
Yeah.
Because there's also the mental barriers of when you do get to the zone, you lock in into the zone 2 running, there's still the mental barriers of your body telling you to stop, of like, oh, my ankles are a bit tight, my knees are starting to hurt, maybe I shouldn't run 12Ks, maybe I should do 6 or 8 today instead.
Correct, yeah.
And that's the benefit of running with people.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I remember there was 1 or 2 Sunday mornings, because we did it after Fajr, I would be like 5 hours sleep. I thought, man, I can't do it today. Like I'm going to only do half the distance, but obviously the boys being there, I had to do it no matter what it took.
Exactly.
And that helps a lot. I remember even having conversations because we had the Palestine run. We wanted to organize. The idea came from doing the runs because we're talking in the run. Or I'm trying to. I'm struggling sometimes.
You want to shout out who organized that, by the way?
Yeah, so Bilal Murhi and Bilal Baba, like there's two boys I organized it with.
But there's a page I saw, like some little sunset type of vibes. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, early hours?
The early hours.
Yeah. I'm still trying to work on that.
Correct.
So it's just basically getting more boys into running and like trying to run after Fajr and just moving the body. It doesn't matter what speed or what distance, really. It's just praying Fajr at the mosque, moving the body and just seeing like how much that changes your whole day.
Exactly.
And so that's one thing that I was developing with some of the boys. And
you plan to keep that up as well?
Inshallah.
Post-marathon and stuff as
Inshallah,
well,
that's the plan. Right now, taking a bit of a break.
How long do you reckon running will be in, in fashion? Because there was a big fad, like there was a big movement behind it, no pun intended.
Yeah, it has been pretty crazy, especially with run clubs and stuff, because I think it's another way for people to meet like-minded people
community,
as them. It's not just, like, let's just talk non-Muslims, for example. You go to the bar and you don't know who you're going to meet, some random people. Or you go to a networking event, you just random people. But Ruddy gets like, if I'm willing to wake up 5, 6 a.m. to go for a run on a weekend morning, we have some sort of values that are aligned. Yeah. True. I'm willing to move the body, willing to put myself in an uncomfortable situation. I want to stay fit and healthy for myself, no matter what age. Yeah. And that's what's interesting. I think that's why it's so popular. Apart from people wanting to meet their new spouse or something, but yeah. That
is true, yeah. It's from the dating scene. It is a dating hub. But I will say I had a theory, that part of it, why it got into fashion and people started to jump on the bandwagon was post-COVID. I don't know if you remember, prior to COVID, there was haps happening every second. There was always something to do, to go to there was this going on and that going on. And then COVID hit, and it's almost as if people lost that social interaction, to do things, to host events and all of that kind of stuff, And now only recently we're starting to see us returning to normal from COVID and stuff, It's normal to see a packed out stadium. It's normal to eat, whatever. And it's been 4 years, and it's taken 4 years. But also in that 4 years since COVID, since it started, people were locked up in their houses. Mental health, I guess, issues went through the roof and whatnot, and people lost that interaction. And social media went up, the digital age. People started to engage more and feel comfortable on social media. People who once would run away from their house now found comfort in their house, and now it's like that polar opposite where it's like you can't be at the house the whole time. And especially when we live in the Western country like Australia, where you're working 9 to 5, and then after 5 o'clock, what are you meant to do? Winter, there's not much to do. The sun's going to go down in the next 30 minutes. You know, it's pretty dark. Whereas now, like, these little opportunities come up, so people are jumping onto it, you know? And because of that common interest of keeping healthy, I guess having a similar mindset, like with the early hours, it's Muslim-based, you know what I mean? So you find similar like-minded brothers. There's no sisters for early hours, sadly. Maybe in the future we can do early hours sisters, but no, joking. Definitely not. Definitely not.
But it is like I remember saying in the past as well, with running, it's such a foreign thing to do for us Muslims. Like foreign how? Like as in, I don't see many people running casually in their training, weekly training sessions, apart from trying to get fit to like play at a high level in their sport.
Gotcha.
I don't see them like running as their hobby.
Yeah.
Or part of their like what I do. It's like, oh yeah, I go to the gym. A lot of brothers go to the gym. Oh, I go to the gym and I do running.
You can understand why though, yeah?
Of course.
Yeah.
Why do you think though? Tell me.
It's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not to like talk smack about running. You know, like there's heaps of benefits in it. You know? But the idea of just getting up and moving and being in your own head. Maybe I'm projecting a little bit. Maybe it's from my point of perspective, because I like to constantly be stimulated, doing a million things like per hour. But like just the idea of like just moving. Just don't get me wrong as well. Like I say this at the same time, and I love running. You know, like the post runner's high that you get after accomplishing that and whatnot is like the most beautiful feeling. But I think the hardest part is getting up, getting your shoes on, leaving the house. It's almost got to be like a perfect like environment, you know.
Yeah, I still struggle with that. It's like so hard
to run. So that's why I think it's got a bit of a negative stigma behind it, in the sense that you know, who runs? Fat people, you know what I mean? So people that are trying to lose weight, respectfully, I say this, respectfully, you know. So then the common age person or whatever, the day-to-day person is going to be like, okay, cool, I already play sports, I do this, why am I just going to run, you know? I disagree with it. Yeah, that's my standing. I might be wrong, you know?
No, it makes sense. Like,
it's not the most exciting sport.
Yeah, I'm going to agree to that. Like, even though I do it, it's still not that exciting. It's still hard for me to show up.
Correct, yeah.
But there's something with like that aligns with running and like delayed gratification. Sure. I find a lot. Like, it's not easy for me to go run, you know, 10 plus Ks on a weekend, and it's like, I'd rather just sit and watch the soccer or whatever. Yeah, that's obvious. I'm a human. Yeah. But the idea of pushing your body and mind and then having that gratification afterwards of what I just did and pushing myself, it's just unreal. Like, it changes the way your mind is, and it helps you through like your quality. It translates to other parts of your life, basically.
Facts. Well,
and willing to push through things that you don't want to do sometimes, but it's actually for the better.
Yeah. A fun fact, bro, like even myself, I found myself when things are like, there's certain things I do when like I can't control the situation or things are not going my way. You know what I mean? One of them is like sometimes like if it's a day-to-day in the moment or whatever, and like I have access to it, cold showers just help. You know what I mean? It's like a quick like little like reset or something like that. Sauna, similar to that a little bit. One of the other random things, very rarely do this, I've probably done it twice a year, is run, you know? Chuck your headphones on, Edwards Lake, you know what I mean? So I'll like even make the distance to drive, which is like, it's like a 25, it's like a 16-minute drive.
It's a nice route, yeah.
It's a nice route, bit scenic and stuff like that. You just chuck it on and then you run. I've only done it twice this year, you know? But in the sense, it's rewarding in the sense where it's like, I can't even explain it. Like, what is it? It's like in your head, you almost shut out everything and you're just focusing on finishing and maintaining.
I saw one thing that people assumed like they're going to go for a run to clear their mind, but it's more of gaining clarity. So organizing your thoughts, because you're giving that time. Time kind of slows down in a way when you're running, because of course how difficult it is. If the perception of time slows down because you're stuck with your thoughts, your body doesn't want to do it. So your mind's like, you're talking to yourself saying, I don't want to do this because it's a bit uncomfortable. I'm not used to it. And with the idea of like time slowing down, I think it helps a lot with organizing your thoughts and even just recognizing your current thoughts. Like, should I believe these current thoughts of what I'm saying to myself? Am I really in pain? Am I really sore? Can I do this? Can I do this run or not?
Yeah, correct.
I think that helps a lot. And that, like I said, it translates to other things in your life where you look at you hear your current thoughts and think, no, that's not right. Why am I thinking like that? And then I'll say actually another example. You think about doing a gym session, yeah? After your gym sessions, the way you think and how you're going about your day, is so much different. You feel like a different person.
Bro, nothing compares.
So that's the thing. It's like that just proves to you that sometimes you're not your thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in this rut, and it's like, this is not me. Why am I thinking like this? And that's why running for me personally helps so much.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's even more so because of the complacency thing.
Mm.
You know, you get up, you open the fridge, there's food there. You go to work, you got a laptop provided, you got a heater if you're working from home. If not, then you got a car that you can put petrol in. Like everything you're doing, sort of like comes easy to you.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, whereas like with the gym or like with running, you sort of, it's like one of the only things in your day where you actually have to go out of your way to do something that's somewhat strenuous on your body, you know, and then you've achieved something, you know, in the sense that like you feel tired, but it's like that release of like, you know what it is? You've worked for your dopamine.
Yeah.
And as how it should be.
It's earned,
rather than you just get it because of like just a quick click and Instagram
so
and
true.
social media and TikTok and all that kind of stuff. So there's that reward in the work that you've actually put in, you know? And that's what those little things teach you. And on top of that, like gym as well, it's like, it's good when you get in the gym and then, what do you call it? You feel good afterwards, you know? After all, that feeling starts to die down because it becomes like a chore, you know what I mean? In the sense that it becomes part of your daily habit. And the best part of it after that is when you start seeing results.
Yeah, amazing.
You know, it's like what you intended to go to the gym for. Was it to look good a certain way? If you started to run or you wanted to be more fit, and then you've realized that you've gotten more fitter, or you've realized that you've got like 2 abs when you had nothing but flabs, you know, then it's like, oh, this is actually not too bad. And you start chasing that even more, you know what I mean?
It becomes addictive, yeah.
It becomes addictive, yeah. Dopamine is addictive.
I think with running compared to gym and other stuff, there's just maybe a big stigma with running where people just label themselves, oh, I can't run, I can't do like a certain distance. And that's where I remember, like, because Najim just mentioned the comment about like 18-year-old me, he never thought I was a runner. And I agree, 100%. Like, I was never a person.
Is he calling you fat, Loki?
Yeah. I was, let's say,
Sorry,
I loved my food.
Yeah, you loved your food. Yeah, you getcha.
But I loved my soccer as well, so it wasn't that bad. Yeah. But like, I guess running, or my interest in running today does relate to that in a way. Whereas like when I played soccer in my years, obviously I was like a decent player. I'm not going to say really good.
You're a bit more than decent, but yeah.
But in terms of fitness, I was never really a very fit person. And I would never go for extra runs or like Najim or the other boys used to do during the week. Because I remember thinking about it now, like labeling myself back then, oh, I can't run, like it's too difficult. And obviously teenagers, you don't really think things through. You just label it and move on and just accept it, yeah? And I think once I figured out I can run and do a certain distance, all of a sudden it opened up this whole world. It's like, what can't I do? I want to try like A, B, and C. And I come to today, I've finished a full marathon. Doesn't matter what the speed and time it was, but I can tell myself that I've done it.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is unreal. So imagine telling my 18-year-old self that when you're older, you're going to do a full marathon.
Which you didn't even believe that.
Yeah,
Let alone would go
insane.
for an extra run after training.
It's insane. So
talk us through the marathon, you know? And what a day that was, by the way.
so good, man.
Bro,
It's our first. It was both our first time there.
Yeah, correct.
I didn't expect it to be that big of an event and that much of a vibe.
Okay, you haven't done it before, but I'm curious to know if it's that packed every single year, or this is the year of running, and then it was.
I think
like
it's going to get.
It's going to get only bigger from here.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's going to be big every year because it was sold out early.
Yeah.
Like what, 6 months maybe?
I
prior?
couldn't get tickets.
Yeah. Actually, you wanted to get tickets. I struggled to get tickets. I tried like a good 2-3 times and then got it through another way.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to get bigger every year. There was 11,000 people.
Yeah, running.
Yeah, running.
Okay.
I think it's the biggest it's ever been.
Yeah.
Because of, I guess, introduction of run clubs and just the hobby itself.
Wait, only 11?
Maybe because
I think there might be more, bro.
I heard 11. I don't know.
I heard there was,
maybe for the full.
Yeah, for the full. Yes, that makes sense. Because for the 10K, there was 8,000 people.
Wow.
So I doubt there was like 3K people spread.
Yeah, true.
Amongst the half.
And I guess logistics, they're probably trying to find ways to expand participants, the numbers.
Correct, yeah.
So I guess maybe next year will be even more.
Yeah.
But bro, the vibe's good, man.
Beautiful vibes.
Not many Muslims, but
yeah.
Hey, every time I saw
there's a lot happening there.
Every time I saw a Muslim, I gave salam straight away. I was like so excited, bro. I felt like I was in the country.
I actually, funnily enough, I bumped into one of your mates. Okay, so I got to tell you the backstory to this. Okay, But I think you sort of somewhat know. So prior to the race, I asked him. So he told me he's doing the Nike. Yeah. And me, I love a side quest. Just do something just for the plot. All right. So then I said to him, all right, bet, like, I'm going to try, like, hustle and get one. You know what I mean? Then I spoke to, who was I speaking to? I think Sagali and I were both traveling at the same time. So he came back from China and I transited to China. So I was speaking to him on the phone or whatever. Blah, blah. He goes, I'm doing the Nike thingy. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, bet, bro. Give me a ticket. You know what I mean? He goes, I might have like one for you. You know what I mean? He gets back to me. He says he has nothing. So I said, khalas, I'm not doing the Nike thing with you, the run, whatever. And then what ends up happening is literally the day before, yeah? And like my days, like 7 days out of the week is just hectic, yeah? So my Sunday, because the run was on the Sunday, already booked out. I've got things to do that day, blah, blah, blah. He hits me up on the Saturday. And then after he goes, oh, do you want to run? You know? And I've already committed to a couple of things. And I'm fighting to say no, but I want to do it just for the thing. Give you a bit of context. I don't have running shoes. Yeah, I don't own any running shoes. So I'm thinking, okay, but if I do somewhere go, like I can't go physically right now, I'll get one of the boys to go buy me shoes or something like that, get it off him, and then start running tomorrow. Little ADHD in me, but guess what ends up happening? I didn't even get running shoes. I said to him, yes, I'm going to do it, you know? I forgot I was doing the run. Anyway, I called Ali straight away. I'm telling him, hey, are you doing the run? Are you still doing the run? He goes, yeah. I was like, bet, I'm going to see you tomorrow. He goes, what do you mean I'm going to see you tomorrow? I go, well, I'm going to be like running there as well, you know? I said, okay, bet. And this guy is shocked. He had an idea roughly that I wanted to do it, but he didn't know like I secured the tickets, yeah? On the morning of, bro, so the night before I made the mistake of eating like biryani and stuff, and then like I had a nice little decent feed.
The thing is, that's a good meal, but the type of meal, yeah.
That type. So the carbs, nice.
Yeah.
Guess what the problem was?
Spice.
It wasn't spicy for me,
Was
but it was spicy for my inners the next day. You know when you're not...
That's all that matters as well.
Yeah. Bro,
Taste buds don't matter, bro.
Exactly. You know the next day when you haven't drank water or anything along those lines and you're getting like that burn, that sharp burn, I'm fighting through it, whatever. The point of the story is, so in the morning, like I wake up and you're like into the group chat, you add him into the group chat, he sends a message in the group chat, he goes, boys, where's everyone at? Like we'll meet somewhere along these lines, you know what I mean? And then I'm thinking, like I just woke up right now, you know? And everyone's already at the stadium, like how am I going to get there? I didn't take into account the fact that there's going to be like 11,000, whatever, 30,000 people all going to the same direction. Traffic was terrible. I like hopped in an Uber and everything along those lines. And like I'm running with a bum bag, you know what I mean? I have no straight like bum because it's got my wallet and stuff, not for any other reason, yeah? So I got my bum bag and I'm running with TNs.
TNs?
Okay? I ran with TNs on the day.
Bro, I thought it was like
Oh my god.
Guess what ends up happening? So as I'm running, I'm thinking, oh crap, I'm going to be late. It's going to start at this time. I'm calling him and he's already started his like marathon and everything.
I'm at the starting line.
And I'm talking to him and he goes, yeah, I'm starting thinking. He goes, Ahmed's here. I was like, oh shit, good. I want to call Ahmed, yeah? As I'm running, guess what I bumped into? One of his mates. I don't know which one it was, but the only reason I recognized him was because he had an early hours hoodie, t-shirt on.
Choke.
I think so.
We seen him later. Yeah.
He was doing a 10K.
Yeah. Oh.
No, I did the 40.
Nah, okay, it's a guy doing
Then
a
someone
10K.
else then.
He's doing early hours and stuff and he was J'd up and stuff, you know? And this is the reason, this is when I felt like maybe I shouldn't be here today, but I got J'd up, yeah? Was when he goes, oh, are you running? And I'll go, like...
Obviously.
Yeah, like it's 7 a.m. Like, what else am I doing 7 a.m. in the morning? And he goes, no, but like, are you running in the TS?
Okay.
And I said, bro, they're comfortable. Like,
Oh my
yeah, like
God.
good shoes and all that kind of stuff. Later on, bad choice.
Finish, bro.
Yeah, bad choice.
It's too flat as well.
The thing that hurt the most was the ankles, bro.
Of course.
The ankles. But what I loved, bro, and this is the moment, like, because I didn't run with no earphones or nothing. Maybe for the first 10 minutes.
That's so good.
But for the remainder of like the next 50 minutes or whatever, I just ran with that thingy. Realized Melbourne is a small city, you know? Because halfway, like, as you're running, because we're running through the city. This is for the 10K part, yeah? You're running through the city. You're running through, like, the Shrine of Remembrance and all of these other places. And, like, as I'm running, I'm, you know what I mean? I'm just G'ing up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, crap. That's the Shrine of Remembrance.
Yeah.
Looking up. And
It's within 10Ks.
like, yeah, it's in, like, the whole Amy Park Stadium. It's, like, yeah, it's, like, within 10Ks or whatever.
Because you never walk it, that's why. So you never
never
realize how close it actually is.
Exactly. And because when...
Even the beaches, it's
That's
not
what I'm
that
saying.
far.
I go to him, hey, because I called him up later on to get my bum bag, yeah? And I go, hey, where are you? And he goes, I'm at the beach. I'm like, bro, aren't you meant to be recording this guy? And he goes, yeah, he's at the beach. what? I was like, but it makes sense, you know what I mean? Because
Mm.
Melbourne's like low-key that small where it's like within that same
The
distance. or
CBDs,
whatever,
yeah.
You know? But it was rewarding. What about your experience side of things? How you saw it?
I didn't listen to much. I
Yeah.
think the first half I didn't listen to anything.
Mhm.
I did on purpose because I was like, you know what? It's going to get to a stage where I'm going to struggle mentally, then I'll chuck something on.
Correct, yeah.
But to be honest, thinking about the whole run, I probably listened for like half an hour.
Okay.
And the rest of it, I was just taking things in, just like seeing how the atmosphere is and that. But bro, it's huge.
So what's going through, because I know what's going through my head, okay? Because
Yeah.
like in my head when I wasn't listening to things,
Yeah.
I was so busy on just creating a competition with everyone, you know? Like I'd see, I can't say that, but I would see, for example, like let's just say, look at this. I'll be running past Somali girls, okay? Bleep that up. I'll be running past Somali girls, yeah?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, cool. I have to clear this whole lane. There's no way on God's green earth, you know what I mean? I'm running like within that like thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then after I would see someone like, if someone passed me, then like I would keep up to them as like a pace. And
Okay,
to
yeah.
be honest, one of my boys, Amin, he was running as well with me in the race, you know? But he's a runner. So at one point, when I hit my my heartburn, there was like a water fountain, water station or whatever, they were chucking Gatorades
yeah.
and stuff. Cause wallah, I grabbed that and I just gulped it down. I
How
was
nice
like,
are those stations, bro?
Bro,
Lifesavers.
it was needed. But I never saw Amin after that, okay? So ever since then, I had to use someone else as like a competition. Or else it becomes boring. I'm not trying to pace myself the whole time, you know? So I see this
Yeah.
Asian guy running and I go, you're my next target, bang. You know,
Yeah,
boom.
and just to be able to like keep a certain pace, like you don't want to be too slow.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you know? But that was what's going through what was going through your head? Because you're doing it for a longer distance as well.
I don't know, man. Like first of all, like the start of the race and like that morning,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't as nervous as I thought. Just in terms of because I can tell myself I did a 12-week training block.
Right.
Like no matter how much, like how consistent I was, how much I showed up when I said I was, because I wasn't as consistent. But I still did this 12 block where it's like, I still did X amount of distance per week that gave me the confidence to go into this day where it's like, I can do this. I can just force it. I can push through. So that's why I was surprised with myself how much I wasn't nervous. But what I was mostly thinking about, the first 10Ks, I don't even know, man. Like my mind was just in awe of like what's going on, because it's like my first type of event. I was just like, oh my God, like there's so many people doing the same goal as me. Because in my head, it's like so big. Oh my God, can I even do this? And I'm looking around, seeing other races, the ages, how fit they are, the fitness level. And I was even just seeing like in terms of people around on the streets on the side, like supporting.
Yeah.
There's so many people just cheering, like people that just live on the side in the apartments. They just come out and they have signs like, oh, like keep going, keep pushing.
Correct, yeah.
And it's like so random, but it actually helps generally. Like you think it's just a small message, but man, it actually
Gs
helped a
you up,
lot.
yeah.
Like, because your bib also says your name.
Mm-hmm.
For most people, some people don't want their name. They say my name.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Ali, come on. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, bro,
Yeah.
how do you know me?
Then you're forgetting it says it on your thing.
Bro, I genuinely forgot. I was tripping out. And there was even like a Muslim cop in the city.
Yeah.
He's like, Yalla, Ali, come on, man. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, what the hell? It's my brother, man. And bro, like, when you're going through like the physical pain of running to a certain distance and people saying your name and cheering you on, bro, it actually helps a lot.
It does, yeah.
As small as it is, that gesture, that little comment, these little things helped a lot. People were handing out like lollies and stuff. And it was so sick. It
Correct,
was mad.
yeah.
People cheering you on, like they're looking at you and wanting the best for you, because the whole vibe is everyone's doing it for themselves. There's no like, apart from the start of the race, people actually trying to win it. But everyone else is doing it for themselves. A lot of people are first timers doing this full distance. So it's like, come on, let's get this done. Keep pushing. I see other people as well, like in the last 5-10Ks, people cramping up, people pulling to the side, stretching. And people even just like going to someone, patting them on the back. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, correct,
And I thought, I'll start doing it to people, even though I'm struggling. But
Correct,
like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like, I'll help them out. I'm like, come on, let's go, man. Like, because everyone's going through the same pain, bro.
Yeah. And I seen Shati at the finish line.
Yeah, mashallah.
Because, bro, how many people dropped dead at the finish line?
Yeah, bro.
So
Because
many people.
I think that's when your body and mind starts to wake up, like what you're doing, and
Correct.
then you get to a certain point. Because also the cramping comes from lack of hydration. Yeah,
Yeah, facts.
bro. The amount of research I did on hydration,
Mhm.
this whole training block,
Yeah.
like finding how much sodium to have before a run,
Yeah.
like even like afterwards as well in your days.
Did you cramp up?
No, I didn't cramp.
Because of the...
Yeah, honestly, because the hydration stuff. But my body was like dying after a while because it hasn't seen that distance before. Because the longest distance I did in my training block was 30.
Yep.
And that was even enough where it's like, okay, I can push that 30 to 42. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just make it happen, whatever. If I could do majority, surely I can find the way to do the end.
Correct.
And that's where the confidence came in. Where it's like, I kept showing up for myself in that 12-week period. It's like, okay, I can do this. I can make this happen. And that's what I realized can translate so many things in life, where it's like, if you just keep showing up, that's how you build that confidence.
Yeah.
And it's like basically outworking your self-doubt, yeah? Like showing yourself that I can do A, B, and C. What
Correct.
can't I do? So it's unreal, man. Like, I remember honestly as well, when it got to the 30 plus K mark, where it's like, okay, unknown territory. Bro, every single kilometer felt like an hour. And it got to a point in my mind, I was thinking, nah, these guys, they did it wrong. The kilometer's too long. Like, surely these guys, I have to speak to them after.
Correct. Yeah.
It was so weird because there's big signs of numbers, yeah? And you'll do a turn here and there past the shrine. I'm like, where is the red sign? I was like screaming in my head, bro.
You're waiting for the G to pop out of nowhere.
Bro, so bad because it just feels like forever. Like, it's so long that you can't even think about what's going to happen after the run.
Correct.
What you're going to do. I remember these boys saying, what are you going to eat after? I'm like, bro, I'm too busy thinking about the run, bro. I can't even fathom there's going to be life after this marathon, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's that crazy because I did it for 4.5 hours and that's a long time, bro. So
Correct,
it's like, how can you even think ahead of that? But that's what's unreal, like, to think.
That's a small shift at a casual place. You know, in 4 hours you can get a lot
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
It's almost 2 NBA games. You know what I mean?
So it's just like,
2.5 football matches.
no, it's mental to even think. But then I think one of the things as well, and now after finishing marathon, I saw people in their like 50s or even older doing full marathons.
Yeah.
There's people with like the clothing they're wearing. There's like Marathon Spartans, some group, and they've been doing it for like 10 plus years. And these guys in their 60s.
Correct, yeah.
It doesn't matter what speed you do it, bro. Because you think about the guy that came first did in 2 hours, 11 minutes, yeah? Don't ask how. I don't know. So let's just say this guy that ran for 2 hours at a certain pace compared to someone that ran 6 hours at a slower pace, you're still enduring your mind. You're still going through that mental battle with yourself.
Correct, yeah.
So either way, you have to give respect to anyone that finishes a marathon.
Both mental and physical.
Definitely.
Because he's smashing his body at an old
At
age.
a different, in a different way.
Correct. And
Yeah.
mentally,
Mentally, 6 hours might be more difficult.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Mentally 6 hours, then the physical 6 hours, and then all of that, you got to combine the fact that his body's not the same as like everyone else.
Like, that's why, like, there's all these memes about people making marathon or preparing for a marathon, their personality, yeah?
Yeah.
But, like, it makes sense because your whole week, you're exceeding your limits or your mental beliefs, and you have to think about it all the time because of how difficult it is to train towards it.
That's true.
So that's why it kind of does become your personality in a way. And I get it, but, man, it's, like, so much work.
But wouldn't you want to be that 80-year-old that is moving around, healthy? You know what I mean? Like, inshallah, we live that long and we have like grandchildren and stuff. But like playing with your grandchildren, like being active rather than like at that age, usually what, 60, what's the retirement age or whatever? Like the pension,
Yeah.
65 or something like
Yeah.
that. After, bro, 60 or whatever, people need replacements, this, that, like it's normal, you know?
It's insane.
And that's
bro.
where you have to take care of your youth before you reach to old age. You know what I mean? Because they'll get a time, or there will be a time where it's going to be like, I could have done this and that. But I didn't. Why not? Because I was complacent. I was too comfortable. And
Exactly.
whatnot, you know?
Because it wasn't just myself proving myself wrong, but people around me just inspired me. Like, why do we have all these like limits to ourselves, saying, you know, I'm getting old because I'm in my mid-20s. I can't run a certain distance, or I can't sprint 100% because, you know, I'm not the same as I was at 18, 19 playing soccer at a higher level.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you look at these 40-year-olds that are fitter than us, and we haven't even reached our physical peak really in our mid-20s.
Yeah.
We're talking probably early 30s is physical peak. Why can't we work towards it?
40 is the peak of a man or whatever. Isn't that what they usually say as well? So
It's crazy. That's why, from what like you see, you can also just say in our community that in terms of the age we're at, people aren't really trying to push themselves even more.
Bro, what do you mean? Because now you reach almost, bro, the boys get married, you know what I mean? You don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, respectfully, understandably, whatever, you got to work, whatever, this, that, inflation's tough. By the way, I was talking about inflation. Milk was $4.50 at Woolworths the other day. What the hell?
It's insane, bro.
Milk was
You
$4.50.
should see eggs, bro.
That's what I'm.
Eggs are.
That's you can't even, bro.
You gotta go to Costco.
I remember once, yeah, I was like shopping with my mum back when I was a kid, and this is how I remember the price of milk, okay? Because I'll never forget this story. I was being lazy. I'm a bit of an egghead, whatever. I'm dragging the milk on the floor, okay? And don't ever do this, but if you've ever done this, you'll know that if you drag milk long enough against the floor, the plastic on the bottom will start to grind, yeah? So I was dragging it for a while. Don't ask me why, yeah? But I was dragging it for a long enough time around the store, playing around with it, whatever, this, that. The milk just completely leaked over the store.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So I'll never forget the price of milk just because of that, yeah?
You appreciate it as well.
The other day I pop in and I'm seeing it's $4.50. I was like, right, that's crazy. But going back to the running thing. See how my brain thinks?
I love it.
How you going?
I love it. Wallah.
But going back to
I just want milk that tastes like real milk. Yeah.
You know another thought that I had when I just as I started to run, I was like, bro, are we living in a simulation?
It feels like it.
Bro, you know when you get to like the finish, the start line or whatever, and then you just see thousands of people, like in massive mobs,
Yeah.
all running heedlessly, mindlessly, in the same direction on a Sunday morning at 7 a.m.
And people in the crowd watching you.
And
Like when you're in the
people-
MCG, yeah?
That's what I'm saying. A bunch of NPCs, bro. At the start, at the start of the run, I was just running, yeah, and I go to Amin and I said, bro, what am I doing? But I said it in a laughing way, not like as in, I don't belong here.
You had TNs.
The TNs and, you know what I mean? Alhamdulillah, I gave him my bum bag and the tech fleece, you know? It was all for the side quest. But I was thinking, bro, look at this, NPCs at the top of their balconies watching. You got 100, thousands of people, not 100,000, but thousands of people, in front of you running all in the same direction. They're chatting, they're laughing.
People on the streets supporting you.
Yeah. And you know the way my brain thinks? I think to myself, okay, at this time on any other Sunday, what would I be doing?
Sleeping.
In bed. So what are all these other people? Where did they come from?
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
It's true.
Yeah, it's just where did they all span from? You know what I mean? Especially the type of examples I think of is there was one not old lady, but she was older. Let's just say she's in her 40s. Yeah, she completed her half marathon in a very, very quick time. I forgot, but she had a pace of, let's just say 5 minutes or something like that. It was pretty quick, you know.
Yeah.
And considering she's 40, she probably has a couple of children. You can't assume nowadays. My bad. But anyway, she was older and she completed it way before someone else who we were waiting for to finish had completed their race. And I'm thinking, bro, people actually put effort into this and actually try, and the results end up showing. You know, so kudos to everyone that ran at the Melbourne Marathon. You know, but I had another question to sort of switch it off the Melbourne the marathon thing is. So what you've done the Melbourne Marathon, you started running, you've developed this running identity, I guess, whether you like it or not. What's the next big goal after this? You know, are we going to see you do a triathlon or? Because I'm not going to lie, I went down a rabbit hole on TikTok the other day.
Yeah, what you see?
I was, because now my TikTok feed became running. I don't know why. FBI agent is working hard. Yeah.
So what you find?
Triathlon came on my thing.
Yeah, what do you think of it?
Bro, if you're saying 42K is hard, yeah,
Yeah.
and it is hard. I'm not taking that away from you. Guys, we're talking about 80-year-old running the marathon. There was an 80-year-old guy that ran the triathlon and he did it in 16 hours or something along those lines, or 13, something along those lines, yeah? He done it in a very, very long time. And what the triathlon is you're running a full marathon, you're swimming for...
And probably an hour.
Yeah, you're swimming for about an hour, and you're riding a bike for about 2 hours.
2-3 hours,
So an elite person does it in 2, 1,
yeah,
and about 1. Yeah, that's what they do it in about 4, roughly just under 4 hours or maybe under 3 hours. I'm not exactly sure. I was like, there's levels to the game, bro.
Of course.
In terms of fitness.
So many levels.
And you know what it goes to show as well? You know that David Goggins, I hate to quote him in this whole episode, but you know the David Goggins mindset where he goes the whole 40% thing?
Yeah.
Where he goes, if you feel like you've reached your peak, you're actually only 40% of the way there. Bro, look at that, cuz. 42.
It's insane.
After the 42K, could you ever do anything else after that? You're finished, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Just imagine then running, cycling for like 200K or something like that.
It's insane. That's why it starts with belief before even doing it.
And
That's where it starts from.
It's actually good because you mentioned it in the notes. You wrote it in the notes. The art of thinking big.
Yeah.
Did you want to touch on that?
I think it's more like the idea of thinking big.
Because I resonate with it. That's why I want to ask. I want to talk about
It's hard because it's hard to begin that journey, especially because you've been telling yourself from all these years, especially younger years, of like, I'm this type of person. People around me are telling me I'm this type of person with comments or whatnot. And from just, certain experiences.
Yeah.
But I think thinking big is really just, it starts with just testing yourself, with trying new things, even just testing your limits physically or mentally with, it can be running or like swimming or whatnot, but just testing those thoughts, like trying to combat those thoughts, because I think there's a lot of times people don't even try new things or even try to see what they can do.
Yeah, fact.
Like like a lot of people might say, I can't do 10Ks, but have you tried? Have you even tried to do 5Ks for a few weeks and then up it, do 6 and 7 to work towards 10?
Yeah, fact.
So I think that's where it starts from. I think just testing your boundaries.
Correct, yeah.
And I never started to think big until I started to test my boundaries, really.
You know what I think it is as well?
Yeah.
I think things or like ideas are as big as you make them out to be.
Yeah.
So like 42K is a big thing, but it's big because you made it big.
Yeah.
You could easily do it if you tried, because a lot of the art of thinking big applies to outside of running, sports, and like physical endurance. Like
it's
things
holistic,
like it's holistic in terms of something from a creative angle. Some sort of like personal endeavor that someone wants to do. Like look at shoot for example right now. They started. We seen them when they first started, whatever, and look at them now.
Yeah,
like the production quality and like shout out to the people at to the boys at Shoot. You see it with a lot of the things now. It's like. But sometimes with us, I guess, as humans, we almost have to see someone else do it before it becomes like normalized,
Yeah.
Because you get G'd up when you're running with one of the boys, because it's like, he can do it. He's on the journey with me. Then like, it's a piece of cake.
I'll tell you one person that actually helped me a lot with that belief system. There was he has a podcast, Rich Roll.
Okay.
Do you know Rich Roll?
The name rings a bell.
Yeah.
But
older guy has a podcast. He's a triathlete as well, but his story is more of how he changed his life at 40 years old. And then in his 40s, when he changed his life, he was like obviously not a fit person, didn't really get into fitness whatnot, but around 40 years old he became a person that did triathlons. So you think about like, this is 40 years old, compared to mid-20s us now. How hard can that be for him to change and flip his whole life? Compared to me being able to change and flip my life, it should be a lot easier than his journey in doing that. So I thought to myself, like, that's just one of many, but I think that was more like, if a 40-year-old can do it, why the heck can't I do it as a 28-year-old?
Correct. And so what was, I'm just looking at him, looking at his face. What was he doing before, like, he decided to start a second life?
I think it was just more of career. Like you kind of go below zero in terms of, satisfaction with being satisfied with yourself, like couch potato, not training at all, eating crap, feeling crap about yourself.
In the rut.
And then where it's like, you really feel bad. It's like, I can't live like this anymore. And it's just that flip of the switch.
Correct, yeah.
But then
that flip of the switch, there we go, yeah.
But then some people need to go that low to recognize that and say, no, I can't live like this anymore. And I think that's where it probably subconsciously started in terms of, I could be a runner, I can try this. Because there's people I was seeing doing crazy things of not even just marathons. I think he also did like 7 in a row of triathlons. Something like that.
So
he didn't just do one.
For the lols.
Yeah, he did like minimum 7 in a row or something.
Yeah.
And there's like Ned Brockman, what he just did now of like 1,000 miles.
No, more. 1,000? I thought it was 175.
No, I'm saying because there's kilometers, but then...
There's miles.
Yeah, but
They'll
like
put on-
he wrote, I'm pretty sure his goal was 1,000 miles, which translates to like 1,600 Ks or something.
Okay, yep.
But then that's just like proving us wrong. Or he even his run beforehand, you know, running across Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why can't I do a marathon if this guy can push his body to this limit?
Correct.
Yes,
yeah.
it takes a while to train towards a certain level of fitness, but why can't I train towards it then?
Correct. Yeah. Anyone. Can
If it
do
takes me a year, okay, but like let me at least give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have to label myself and say I can never do this in my whole life?
Correct.
And I'm
yeah.
only 28.
And have you heard Ned's story?
Not too much of his background, really. I just seen the current situation.
Similar to that of what's the dude's name you just mentioned, Rich Roll.
Yeah.
You know, where just everyday Joe. I think he was doing like accounting or something. Then he became like some sort of tradesman.
He was a trader, yeah.
And then he was doing he became a tradesman. And then after that, he's like, bet, let me just, you know, do a full 180.
Wow.
And then bang, look at him now, right? And that was like one of those other things as well. You know, I was talking about triathlon. This bloke straight after the Melbourne Marathon, like Ned Brockman's everywhere. You know, Israel Adesanya joined in, Volkan
It just put it into perspective.
How like bro, 1,000 miles.
What we can do. Yeah. Like not. Yeah.
The art of thinking
Really.
big.
It's just insane, and I think environment plays a huge thing. Because like, I know you recently went on a Bali trip as well, and I assume your world of like martial arts and stuff in Australia, because that's majority of it, and a bit of Thailand and whatnot, compared to going to Bali, being with Khan and the people he's around, and just seeing the levels to a certain sport or a certain art.
Yeah.
How was that?
Before I say that, I want to say one thing just to like wrap that last bit out. I think, you know, the art of thinking big, or like the idea of doing something big, and however big, because big is subjective.
Yeah.
The art of thinking big, like I just want to keep those two things together, because big is like subjective in the sense that that can't, you know what yeah.
I don't know, man.
No, because I was trying to say it again so that we could cut it, so then
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't-
realized.
But now, like, I realize, but like, because I can't say size is subjective, you know what I mean? But do you get what I mean?
Of
like,
course.
what's big to you? How do I do this? I can't do it. But what I'm trying to say is,
Say
Just without-
dreaming big, thinking big.
yeah, you know the idea of like dreaming. Give it 2 seconds, yeah. There's two things that you're gonna be cutting out of this episode. Like one other thing that I want to touch on as well is like the idea of dreaming big or thinking big is like different to like different people. But that's one thing. Like you got to put that to the side. It needs to be coupled with that second thing that you've said as well, like flipping the switch. You know, and it's like having the intention to do something is good, but it's not good enough. You know, what's required after that is like the action. You know, having the intention to run or be fit or be useful to your family, your friends, or if you have kids, or blah, 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 is one thing. But then there's the action side of it. It's like, what switch have you flipped in order to make that progress or be that person or do that, like that one thing, you know? So there's the art of thinking big, and then there's flipping the switch on.
Make it happen.
Yeah, like making it happen. Going to the other side of the world if you want to go study, you know, and all of those things all go back to how it's not comfortable to do that, you know? It's comfortable to talk about a grandiose idea from your bedroom, you know? But it's uncomfortable then to get up and to go to the other side of the world and travel.
I think that just maybe reflects on the level of belief.
Correct, yeah.
In that thought, like of thinking big.
Yeah.
And like, because they say that beliefs comes before ability. And marathon, they proved it to me because, like I said, I've seen 60-year-olds, if not older, running a full marathon distance.
Yeah.
And what even made them think of running it? It started with belief. I can do it. Yes, I have to train towards it, whether how long it takes, but it's the belief. It's like, okay, I can do it. Let's train towards it, and the ability will come, and I'll show up, and they've completed it, no matter what age, what type of fitness level or background you had. And that's just where it all starts from, like really believing I can work towards it. Doesn't mean you have to do it tomorrow, but it's like I can get there one day.
The ability will come later on.
Yeah.
It's that mindset.
Because I know definitely. I said it in the past. I'll say it again. I'm gonna do Ironman one day. So
yeah, I rate that.
definitely
That's
triathlon.
good.
Yeah.
Well, now you said it on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
I've said it a few times, which I keep saying it to reinsure my belief. I'm not the best swimmer, but I'll make it happen. I believe I can become a good swimmer, and inshallah complete it one day, bro. So that's what I was saying like before about having the right people around you, like I had in the running, long runs on the weekend with some of the boys.
You had Najim calling you big.
Yeah, exactly, calling me out.
Well, you basically said he's big. Like you said, "Whoa, you ran." That's what he basically said. Yeah.
Who is this guy? Yeah,
No,
but the idea of like the environment does help you think big as well. Being around people face to face, not just on social media.
Correct. Yeah.
And I guess I know your trip in Bali, being around Khan and the level he's at in his own sport, does help with you and like building your belief in what you could do. So I want to know more about that trip.
Well, with Bali, like I remember, I think like I got back a week later. I actually called in the gym and we were talking about this later on. And I was like I wasn't even talking. I was like ranting onto him. Like it's almost like I've discovered like this new food or this new restaurant joint, or it's just like a new world of like has like opened up. Yeah. And like with the environment type of thing, one thing that I learned in like Bali is how do I don't know how do you like bring it all together and sum it up in words. But first of all, there's a different way to live life than the life that we sort of like live here. You know, like one thing I realized about Bali is that everyone's almost like a professional in their field, or at least the side that I was in Bali. You know what I mean? When I met up with Khan and then when I was around people at the gym. Say there's the soccer player, that played in he played for Bayern Munich, yes.
Who?
He remembers.
Forget his name.
I remember his name. That's my boy Mehmet Ikichi. I think I'm saying his name incorrectly. You know, verified though. Verified. He played it. You know what I mean? We went for dinner.
He's trying to make up some nice name.
No, he's verified. I actually want to get him on a podcast one time. Yeah, we have a conversation in broken English, but we'll get by.
Yeah.
But like the different type of people you meet who are good at what they do, and it's like a whole complete like different environment, you know. Bali was one of those trips where like, because prior to Bali, I was traveling around with one of my best mates for 3 weeks, and we were going around from one side of Indonesia to, not one side technically, like we started off Jakarta and we worked our way, like we kept on going east. We kept going east down until we went down to Bali. And then we're going through like the villages and we're going volcano hunting, and then not hunting volcanoes, but we're looking through volcanoes and we're going to like the little cities, the Jogjakartas and stuff. And funny, Speed went through a lot of the little cities when he went through his trip, which was why it was so sick. But it's like the world is bigger than just Australia, Melbourne. I don't want to bait out my area, but the area.
Your bubble, yeah.
Yeah, like it's bigger than like your bubble. Like it's massive. And that's what traveling teaches you. You know, and then after you go, you're burnt out, you go travel, come back, you get a massive G up because you get a sense of the dunya, then you get a sense of the world, then you get a sense of like, you get inspiration from what other people, how they're living their life, you know. Like with Khan, he uprooted his life from Melbourne, Australia and moved to Bali to train out of there for a whole different experience to make his dream of getting into the UFC a reality. You know, and it's become a reality now. You know what I mean? He's in the UFC. I don't know how public that is or whatever. So, like, like you get inspired by the environment that you're in. You know, and I was telling this to the gym, like as well, like the amount of people we can get on podcasts and stuff. You know, because you'll meet some guy who's a breathing expert. You know, you'll meet some guy who hunts volcanoes for a living. You know, you bump into people from different cultures, different walks of life, things that you can get like inspired by. If that makes sense. So. Yeah, no, it was an experience you don't really forget, bro. One of those ones, you know. And then the training aspect of it as well. Like I fell in love with the art of, or the sport of martial arts, like only recently. Like I'm like an infant in this game. Yeah. You know, but it's been the best thing I've ever done. You know, because the individual sport, the work that you put in, similar to running, you know what I mean, is the work that you get out. You know, I had a long layoff from BJJ for a little bit. Then from like, what's it called? I started Muay Thai. I had a layoff from that from a little bit. It's that individual sport where you just you versus you constantly day in day out. You know,
there is something about individual sports that's so amazing.
And BJJ specifically, as I was saying to this before, you know, it's like there's something about it where it just your ego gets completely stomped on. You know, whatever ego you had, you got to put it aside when you go BJJ. You know, like our gym. Shout out to Mikhail. We have like a 13-year-old world champion, 2-time world champion, competing actually next week in Abu Dhabi. I think it's coming up next week. He's gone for a 3rd time. It's called world champ run. But what was the point I was trying to make on that? I was trying to say how, yeah, the individual aspect of it. You got to put your ego away. Like guys like Mikael, you know what I mean? Like Ahmed actually met Mikael, you know what I mean? You know Mikael, the young one at the camp? Yeah, at the camp, you know what I mean? I'm not going to lie, there was a couple of grown men he submitted and he beat, you know?
Oh,
and this kid's a 13-year-old.
That is hard for the ego, yeah.
Yeah, the young gun? Yeah.
No, someone told me about it.
Correct, yeah. World champ, yeah? And, bro, he'll beat some people here, you know what I mean? So one of the things about the BJJ in terms of the ego you got to put aside is it's like, you might be big, you might be strong in certain departments and all that kind of stuff, you know? But it's like a good community where you're trying to get better in your own department, you know what I mean, alongside other people, you know, and the work that you put in. If I don't rock up to the training, like Burak says a quote all the time, he goes, the time on the mat counts and the time off the mat actually counts. Meaning when you don't show up, you'll see the results of not showing up. And when you show up, you'll see, what's it called, the result of actually showing up.
Or
you know?
Inaction, yeah.
Yeah, correct. And honestly, it's like a break from like the hectic life that I live in terms of the other things that I do, you know, rocking up and having that one achievement to the day, you know, because, bro, gym started to get boring for me, straight up. Well, like gym,
it's a bit stagnant, like.
It's like, well, like, you know, we're talking about running and all this kind of stuff. What's the end goal? What am I working towards?
Yeah.
You know, I can change my gym routine or whatever to be a bit more functional, but if I'm not using it, is it really functional? You know? Whereas I found that like with BJJ, with like Muay Thai, even basketball became a similar thing to me, you know what I mean? Like team sports and stuff. They're fun socially with the boys and all that kind of stuff. I'll never get rid of them, you know? But there's something about you trying to achieve something on your own, you know? Like it's like this comp coming up, okay, I can do this, you know? And there's no age limit to it as well. You know, you got guys training and they're 50 years old, bro.
Yeah,
like, bro, I want to be having a black belt in 50. You know what I mean? Like those little things, like having that like sort of like achievement, you know?
But it just develops that drive to keep showing up.
Correct,
like, because you have a certain goal. And sometimes with gym, it's kind of like not crystal clear what your goal is.
Correct, yeah.
Unless you got a personal coach or something.
You can half-ass the gym.
Oh, easily.
You can go to the gym. Like someone was saying it the other day, was it Ali Abdul? I was listening to a random video. I haven't listened to him in like 4 years. But he popped up on my feed the other day and he says something about, I don't train in the gym hard enough unless I have my personal trainer there. I said, bro, what a gazelle. You know, who says something like that? But then I thought about it for a second. I was like, I hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I'm training with one of you boys, like maybe I'll train 70% on my own. But with you boys, I'm training 75%, 80%.
More likely to hit your max.
Yeah, more likely to hit your max and all that kind of stuff, you know? That's the thing with the gym. At the in terms of the gym, in terms of martial arts, whatever, BJJ, Muay Thai, you see other people there, you know? Like you see the boys and you see them getting better. So it's like, and I'm a competitive person. Yeah, I'm a competitive person, like healthy competitiveness, you know? Where it's like, if he's getting better, there's no reason for me to not get better, you know? And that's what the other thing I liked about running as well, you know? Where it's like, you finish the race, you get your time, you hear a couple other people's times and you go, oh, so that person ran, 45 minutes for 10K, you know? I was like, yeah, easily, I can do that now. You know, it's like...
It's possible, yeah.
Not only is it possible, you know what I mean? There's no reason for me not to be having that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because me, it's not a mindset of, can I do it or whatever. It's like, no, I can do it. And when I want to do it, I'm going to smash it, if that makes sense, you know? And that's that G up you get from the gym as well, you know? Bro, like there's some brothers, bro, where we roll, yeah, and he gets better. And then that G's me up, and the next day I want to come, and then I want to come to the gym, and then after I start to get better, you know, and I go, rah, this is actually crazy, you know. But yeah, let's see some other things we had, because I wanted to stop talking about BJJ, because I don't want to create this like identity that I'm the BJJ guy in the world and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you still have your journey of BJJ wanting to improve yourself. It's not
correct,
that deep.
yeah.
It's just what you're showing. That's the thing. Like even with me, for example, like running content and stuff, that's all I'm showing, because I don't want to show other stuff, personal stuff in my life.
Yeah.
Even though people associate me with running, I don't care. Like,
correct.
It's just that I'm not showing other things on purpose.
And then you can show more as well, yeah.
But I think there's...
You know what the...
go.
Okay, I'll take the honors. What I was saying to you was, because funnily enough, there was a point, and I remember actually telling Burak this as well. Because when I started, I remember I started in August. So that's the 8th month of the year. So from August to January this year, which roughly translates to like 5 months. Yeah. 5 months straight, I trained hard. Like when I say hard, I mean talking like I was there every second day, like every day. If not, I would miss no more than 2 days. You know, like I was consistent. Like my world almost became like BJJ. It was nice because at that time I was in sort of like a rut. Like I was doing the same things in the day, you know. And then BJJ became like my third place. If that makes sense. Other than work and family and stuff, became the one other thing that I did, you know. And then with anything, the more you start to do it, it starts to become normal. Yeah. You know, I remember I was speaking to Thingy and he goes, and what didn't help was I was starting to get a bit more injuries, like my shoulder, this, that. You know, I'd done in my knee a little bit, and then that's when it's starting to become a bit of a chore, you know, because I said, why am I doing this? You know, because at that time I didn't really plan to compete. You know, I just enjoyed it because like I was getting good at it and I felt good, and I like a challenge, you know. And I said, why am I doing this? So then I had a bit of a layoff from it, you know. And I always promised myself that I won't start another martial arts or whatever, like Muay Thai or something. Because after we went to Thailand, I was like, I'm definitely going to be doing Muay Thai. And then what ended up happening was Muay Thai came into place. And I told Burak, I said to him, he was like, where you been? You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know. My love for it started to like die down and stuff like that. You know, and I was battling with that thought of, should I that? And then I had a layoff from it. Then I went and done Muay Thai. I did it for like 2 months or whatever. And I'm still doing it. But it wasn't as fun as BJJ, you know, because there wasn't that like challenge, you know, like with like Muay Thai, striking sports and stuff. It's very simple and stuff. You're just kicking. You're doing the same thing.
Would you say it like, I'm not going to say it's like the gym, but in terms of you can get away with going 50%?
You can get away with
because
that, yeah.
not everyone's looking at you.
No, everyone's looking at you, 100%. And there's like, and how do I say it? BJJ is one of those sports where you can actually go 100%. You know, you and I right now can go roll, spar, whatever, and we can go at 100%, wait a little bit, get our energy back, and then go at 100% again. You know, compared to like the contact sports, the other combat sports, where you're striking and stuff. I can't really hit you really hard and knock you out and beat you. You know, like I can work in and like I can sharpen my technique and whatnot, but I can't really do the other things like with BJJ. Yeah, it's not as safe in that sense, you know. Whereas BJJ, it constantly is that, you know, and you will get like
you can't hide. Basically.
You can't hide. You literally can't hide.
That's the thing compared to like team sports versus individual.
Yeah,
team sports. We know for a fact, like basketball, soccer, footy, you can hide. You can have your moments where it's like you can just be in the background, you know, for a few minutes, just like not get the ball as much, this and that, not be in possession. But individual sports, man, like you can't hide. It's so obvious.
And I felt myself being a gazelle. That's what it was. So I said to myself, okay, when I first started, I had a goal where I was like, I wanted to at least like get my blue belt, you know. I said I wanted to get my blue belt. Because bro, we grew up watching like Karate Kid and like those Taekwondo and all that kind of stuff. You remember Hall's Taekwondo? They used to be everywhere. That, you know, Hall's Taekwondo. You know it, yeah? Hall's Taekwondo. There's it's like that franchise Taekwondo spot.
Okay.
Like the
shopping centers. Yes, those ones. You know what I mean? I locally think that it was like one of those little laundering places. You know, I'm actually not even.
Well, how did they maintain financially?
Because they went bust, man. Like they were rolling. Like that's all it was, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember, like even my uncles and stuff, they're like all black belts in Taekwondo. Not that I believe it's like that effective, but it's still a big thing, you know what I mean? Taekwondo, whatever. Anyway, and then after I looked up to that and I said, bro, right, that's cool. You know, they've achieved some black belt. You can walk around and say that proudly. You know what I mean?
It's amazing, yeah.
So I remember like getting into BJJ and I said my goal was to get a blue belt. And then after I'm seeing boys that I started off training with, you know what I mean? Not got their blue belt, but like they'll piece me up right now. They'll defeat me. You know, I was gonna say something else. They'll defeat me, yeah. And I was like, oh, rah. That inner gazelle, I was like, bro, Abdullah, you're not that guy. You know what I mean? So I was like, bet. Like my goal is to get my blue belt, and I'm gonna do that like, sort of like no cost. Like I have to get it. Then from there we'll assess it. You know, because one thing I hate doing is doing things like half-heartedly. Like I like to give things like my effort. You know, especially things that I have a passion for. And then after, if I have a passion for it, I'm not doing it like with my heart, like with intention or whatever, then I'm doing a disservice to myself. It's not really genuine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can rock up to work and work for another man or the white man or whatever and not give 100% because of this capitalistic world. I don't believe in that capitalistic stuff, but whatever. Anyway, then I understand. Yeah. But when it's something for yourself or you're not giving it, it's like the last thing you want to do is like, you feel like a bum.
Yeah, you're cheating yourself, yeah.
So
definitely.
It's been amazing. The next thing I want to do actually is start like documenting this journey.
Yeah, you should. I've
Yeah.
been saying it for a while. Obviously, it's not.
Journeying this document.
It's not as easy, but like even just for yourself, looking back at
Yeah.
these things of because you're gonna do your first competition. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
That because if I say it here, then now I have to do it. Yeah, there's.
Yeah. Then why not,
Nah, I'm doing my first competition, inshallah.
bro? If you look in a 5-year period, you shouldn't.
December,
You shouldn't be afraid, bro. Just
Yeah, no, I'm
What's-
not
what's-
afraid. I'm not afraid.
yeah.
It's just the priority list. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay,
It's-
fair enough.
It's the priority.
But either way, start documenting.
Bro, what do you
you're
mean? I
doing.
would love to scrap right now. You know, I'm not afraid at all.
Yeah.
But the documenting part, because there was a period before this guy stole my camera and then used it for his use, like he bought the camera. I love you, bro. Yeah, where I would document everything. You know, I have my camera everywhere. Yeah, and then I would look through my hard drive, bro. I'd see like the early days of Fair Income. I seen like periods during COVID. Right now, I have no recollection of what COVID was like. You know what I mean? Nothing.
It's a blur.
Yeah, it's a blur. But I have a video of me going through one of the drive-throughs when they were doing the test. Yeah, and I said,
Oh, okay, yeah.
whoa, like how hectic is that? You know what I mean? Who remembers that? You know? And then I'm like, bro, the same way I'm gonna forget COVID on top of my memory, I'm gonna forget during like this period, the early days, like the most fun period. So I was like, bah, let me just, you know, hopefully I'll start uploading some of it, but mainly for my own personal like archives, you know.
Yeah, I think it's important because then you see how far you've come in the, the 1 or 2 year span. Because we're too busy focusing on what we're not good at, what we need to improve on. Because sometimes we can be too hard on ourselves.
Correct.
But if you look back a year or two, it's like, damn, like I've come a long way, whatever it is, fitness or not. But then it's just
You know,
like,
you say we're too hard on ourselves. I think I'm too nice to myself.
like complacent.
I'm not complacent. I'm hard on myself, but I know how hard I am on myself. I can be harder.
Okay.
It might be a bit toxic. Might be a bit
You have
toxic.
to explain yourself. What do you mean?
So like, it's not nothing's like in my mindset is nothing's really ever that hard, you know.
Oh, okay.
And you'll realize this is like you'll go through like a difficult period of your time in your life or whatever. It's like you experience some sort of like a little bit of hardship, you know. In the moment, it's a hardship, but when you look back at it, it's a hiccup. Like,
yeah, hindsight,
Yeah, you're like, right, that wasn't actually that deep. But then in the moment, you're fighting that.
Yeah, that is so weird, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it depends on the person though.
That is true, yeah. Different
'Cause
people, different
it
mentalities.
does seem more common for people to be hard on themselves, but then I guess if you have to set your own standard, you know what to push, how to push yourself, how far.
Exactly. And if you think you're pushing yourself hard,
Hmm.
you're not going hard enough. Just remember that. You know what I mean? Bunch
Yeah.
of gazelles, man. No, I'm joking. I was sounding like that toxic guy that's just, doesn't sleep, nothing, drinks coffee all day.
That's
But,
good, man.
yeah.
It's good to see, bro.
Nah, it is.
It's almost like towards the end of the year.
It is, bro. You know what I'm excited for? Tonight.
What is it?
2 things. There's the UFC fight happening tonight, UFC 308. But that's not the main reason. The main thing is I want to see this Joe Rogan and Donald Trump episode.
No way, they do that.
Donald
Really?
Trump and Joe Rogan are doing an episode. He finally agreed to get him on.
Oh, this is huge.
Yeah.
You don't know this.
Bro, you want to know one thing, yeah? I love America.
Here we go.
Yeah. But not for the reasons people like love America. I love America because I think it's like a social experiment. It's a real life drama. You know,
It
it's
is
like,
real life drama, yeah.
Yeah, but I actually the way I've kept up with the elections. Huh? Has it just been released?
Yeah.
2218, yeah? Episode 2218?
2219.
Okay. Yeah. A big episode, bro. But I'll tell you why, cuz. Like, I just think these guys are like all characters. But they're real, but they're not real, some of the things they do and stuff, you know? But this Joe Rogan, Donald Trump episode would be big in the sense that it's like it was meant to happen 4 years ago, you know, and it never happened 4 years ago. And now with everything that's been happening with obviously Israel, Palestine, everything that's been happening with the Ukraine war, and now this black Asian lady who's also American at the same time, Kamala Harris, yeah, she has like 3 different like identities or whatever, pops up out of nowhere, and then now she's like the front runner to like become a president, you know. I think it will give like a big insight and stuff, you know. And it's like, why am I so invested in something that I don't have no like vote in, you know? But it's just cool, you know. It's,
Ask you about Australian politics.
couldn't tell you, wallahi, couldn't tell you
Me
nothing.
too. I've got a
You
lot,
know?
yeah.
I've Billy was the prime minister.
Yeah, same.
Cancel was just yesterday. I don't even know.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. I chucked the ballot thing in the bin. Hey, do we get a fine for that?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't get it in the mail, so.
Crazy.
Yeah. I get
I don't know.
Hey, but do you think it's bad
what?
that they've turned it almost into entertainment, or is it good because then the people?
That's what they want, bro. That's so
No, but I'm
Americanized.
saying, but is it good because then the people of the country actually pay attention?
Yeah.
We don't know who our prime minister.
It's all about
Correct, yeah.
attention. It's all about attention.
It is about
And
attention.
Donald Trump knows that 100%.
Correct, but the problem,
good or bad?
your problem thing is sometimes the loudest person in the room gets the most attention, but they're not getting the attention for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
When it comes down to the actual votes, yeah.
When it comes down to it, like, and the problem with that is like I was watching a video on how much you know how they do the debates, what do they call it, the GOP debates or whatever,
Yeah, I know what you're
prior
talking
to the
about,
actual election. They were doing like a recap on all the debates that have happened in the past. Yeah, you know how respectful they used to be.
Really?
They actually used to be respectful. You know what I mean? Like they would disagree. You know what I mean? Like strongly, but not to the point where you're name calling and then
Dissing.
after you're telling people about like what emails do you have hidden and you're calling someone out for the crime and it's good in that sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of it has lost its like respect.
Yeah.
And the thing is that bad behavior, especially in so-called leaders in the world, and America being the leader of the free world, what happens to the next generation?
Yeah, it'll get worse. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. They're like, these are the people that are leading your country. You know what I mean?
These are the role models.
Yeah, these are technically like your role models, you know?
You're going to turn into the Australian lady in the government when she started speaking with the slang, the kids slang.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Um,
skippity.
What was her name?
Skippity toilet. It's just
Was it Fatima Panay?
Yeah,
Her
something
name?
like-
Yeah.
You know,
The Phantom Tax, you know what I mean?
That's how it's going to be in the future. Our president or
The-
prime minister is going to start talking.
throw L in the chat.
The new generation, you know? So, nah.
Yeah, it's wild.
And then also, like, how much social media plays like a role in it, you know?
Mm.
Like, you know how like back in the days they used to go on those live shows?
Yeah.
Now-
like they'll go to like a David Letterman.
Oh, okay,
Correct.
yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel, not Donald Trump wouldn't go on Jimmy Kimmel, but they would go on those shows. Now they go podcast runs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Donald Trump's on Logan Paul's podcast. He was just on
Yeah.
the Nelk Boys podcast.
Nelk Boys,
Joe
yeah.
Rogan, Charlemagne,
Andrew Schultz.
Andrew
It's,
Schultz.
it's just the way to stay more relevant in a way.
It's
Mm.
podcasting is the new forum, bro.
Mm.
You know, and guess what?
Get Albanese.
On the podcast, bro. Just imagine Albanese on a Fair Dinkum podcast. I'd head.
What?
I love him. I'm joking. I don't. I'm indifferent. But yeah. Any final words? Anything else to add to it?
No, not much.
But I just like I left it out saying his head. Yeah.
It's just funny how we've gone from like thinking big, Albanese now. It's like,
Yeah. Correct.
yeah,
Thinking
it's
big.
wild.
Thinking big. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I wanted to say? It's good. It's good to be back on the podcast.
It feels
I must.
good,
I
man.
must admit. I like one thing I do enjoy is this environment. You know, we got something good going for us.
And I think it's good that like we're sharing with people somewhat of our journeys in whatever we're doing. Like clearly we're doing different sports,
Sure.
but like you can still find an alignment in like, you know, thinking big or like pushing your limits and stuff like that, and how you're going through those motions. Kind of just trying to be relatable for people and showing that, you know, you started from being a total beginner in a sport, starting fresh in your mid-20s, and at least do some. My first
Your first run.
first run ever.
distance.
I remember I did one run in like 2018 with Yusuf Muhammad. I did a 10K.
Mm-hmm.
And
That was a big deal, yeah.
That was my first ever 10K, double digits 10K. And it was Albert Park with him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 2 laps. He obviously beat me. He did it in like 5 minutes earlier than me, but I was dying, bro. I don't know how I did it. I was like
Yeah.
dreading it the whole time.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, I'm like, what the hell? I actually did 10K. I was in awe. I was like, what the hell? I actually did this.
And Ned Brockman is running 100 Ks per day or something like that.
Yeah, something mental on like 3 hours sleep.
Yeah, it was 100 miles per day.
Bro, there was actually a video of him like finishing at 3 a.m., slept, woke up 6 a.m., back on the track. It's like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Did you see his body after all of that?
He had to wear like 3 size bigger shoes.
Yeah. Did you see his
The
feet?
swelling, yeah, disgusting, yeah.
Yeah.
But it just shows, man, like he came out alive.
Yeah, he came out alive. Your body, how much your body can. go
Yeah.
through. All for a good cause, I guess.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. He did it for a good cause.
Another one of my random thoughts.
Don't worry about this guy. We'll see you in the next step.